Hello, 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 it's MPD, the Dunder King himself. I'm joined by Kara, the Syrian lady,
The Sicilian.
played by Necroxus, and I'm joined by Nexus, the Togruta scumbag, played by Howie. We are about an hour into play, and I may have lost the first half of the recording, so that's fine. So I'll just give you all a quick summary of what has happened. Our characters have found themselves on Nar Shaddaa. At some point, Nexus kidnapped a Twi'lek slave who got away from him, and then notification that Nar Shaddaa was being put under a blockade by Imperial forces pending a Imperial investigation. So there's a landing party on their way, but they're not here yet. So they both Kara and Nexus have tried to flee the planet, and there's a Hutt, Basma the Hutt, who's in charge of this segment of Nar Shaddaa, who has put the spaceport under lockdown to comply with Imperial request, though he seems as though he's under pressure from higher up in the Hutt family to do so. Kara gave the slave 100 credits to get off planet because she said that she was abused by Basma the Hutt. She was one of his. Whether that is true or not, who knows?
Yep.
But Kara has been seeing it's a Togruta female who's sort of been lingering around in a hood and keeps showing up and seems to be watching Kara. Togruta, of course, being like Ahsoka Tano from the Clone Wars and Rebels. And that's a fair summary of what we've done in the introductory hour, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Wasted
cool.
100 credits.
Wasted 100 credits.
But it
Sweet.
was the right thing to do, maybe. Anyway, alright.
Okay, so the last thing that was said in the in the lost hour. So anyone who's watching on Twitch, you enjoyed that. That's something special just for you guys, maybe. If I can't recover the recording. Nexus said that if they can't get off planet, then perhaps the safest thing to do would be to talk to Basma the Hutt. And go.
Cars says, well, that's a terrible idea, but I suppose if we have another option, you do all the talking.
Well, couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay,
So
so
then think about, I think about that phrase and say, maybe you should do the talking? Because I can't say it better myself. I never understood that phrase as I continue to walk.
Did you say all of that as we're walking?
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Cars
brilliant.
now not sure if he's with the crazy person or
That's
not. She's with the crazy
that's
person.
amazing. It's like, good. I couldn't have said it better myself. Except actually, maybe you should talk because I can't say it better than myself. I love that. That's brilliant. Also, this is something that I'm going to be doing because at the moment we're just a three-man band. Every now and again, if there's NPCs that are, let's say, engaging Kara and Nexus isn't in the conversation, I'm going to empower. I'm going to give, in that particular example's sake, Howie the opportunity to voice the NPC, and I'll give him like a brief motivation for that NPC, and I will be awarding experience points for those performances. You don't have to do it, but
Oh,
you
God.
will, and same likewise, you'll be given those opportunities as well.
Alright.
Okay, cool. So you're heading to the service lift to access the second level of the spaceport to go talk to Basma.
Is the hooded person still there, or are they gone again now?
They're gone again.
Cool. Let me know if or when I see them again.
Oh, I will. Don't worry. Though I am amazed that you haven't tried to interact with that hooded person yet.
Oh, that's why I asked.
Okay.
Because I will next time.
Okay, sweet. So you get into the elevator, you push the button, you wait for a bit. The elevator comes down. You go in the elevator, press the button for... There's like two buttons. There's like ground level and upper level. So you press upper level, doors close. It plays like piped jizz music. Which
Still jizz music.
jizz music, of course, being the genre of music that the Cantina Band plays, because I realise that YouTube viewers may not be aware of that. So it goes up. It's about 40 foot up this other level, so it takes a fair while in this lift. Long enough that you starting to like stand around awkward with like the piped. I guess it'd be jizz music as opposed to music because it's lift music. But anyway, it goes up. Door opens. And Basma's there. No Gamoran guards, which some might
That's
consider
weird.
odd. But then again, I guess you could rationalise that by all of his guards are down on the lower level, stopping people from getting on ships.
Alright.
Okay, so I guess I'll just start walking towards him.
He doesn't seem to... Like, you're coming from sort of like the side and behind him, like diagonally to the behind. So he didn't seem to notice you coming. He's Major Domo. He's also facing forward. A few of the Twi'lek slaves may see you, but they don't seem interested in notifying their master of someone creeping up from behind.
Well, I don't want to creep up on him, so I'll call out his name as we walk by.
He looks sort of alarmed.
Like I'll friendly call it.
So, yo, Basma!
Yeah.
He sort of
Hey,
looks
girl!
alarmed because he's not expecting. I say he with huts. They're hermaphroditic, so they sort of choose a gender. This one in particular identifies as male. So yeah, just throwing that out there. Because Star Wars, you come here for the role playing, but you stay for the odd little tidbits of lore.
Lord.
Because that's what we do. So yeah, he sort of turns around and he's a bit alarmed, and I'm quite thankful that... Did we establish that you both speak Huttese?
I don't.
You don't speak Huttese.
Nope.
Oh, now I'm going to have to do the hut noises. I mean, he'd talk via his...
They're like, Misa, Tinka, Joto, oh, oh, oh.
Excellent.
And I'm just like, what?
That's exactly what he says. To which his Major Domo, who I guess needs a name. It's Wadian. 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 It says the most humongous Basma the Hutt demands to know what you are doing up here.
Immediately, Kara like hides behind next. It's like just standing behind him.
But you were meant to talk. He can't say it better himself.
No, she's like poking her head out, looking from behind him, like a freaking idiot.
I'll say, we're here to, work for you. I'm a pilot.
The Awadian talks to Basma a bit, and then Basma...
I speak Huttese. I'll say it in Huttese.
Even if you saying it in Huttese, like,
Okay.
Basma does not talk to people. Like, he will always talk through, because Basma's pretty low on the totem pole, so Basma does everything that he can to seem like more of a big shot than he actually is.
Right.
Necro, do you want to voice Basma?
Sure.
because
And
you're
the
not.
best part is I don't have to actually say right words.
Yes, exactly. You also have the right like tone of voice that I want for him. Okay, so yeah, Wadian whispers something to him, and then Basma responds.
Yoka chinka choto.
Okay, excellent. I was waiting to see if there was going to be a laugh there or not.
He doesn't ho 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 every time.
Well, no,
Santa.
I suppose that is true. He's not privileged enough to be in that good of a mood. And then Wadian says, he whose slime covers all asks what good a pilot is to him. The Imperials are coming.
Yeah, but they're not here yet. Surely he has some things that he does not want the Imperials to find.
And then more whispering, and then in a sly tone, as if he has some sort of idea, Basma says,
Bonka kipa topo tino.
and then Wadian.
Oh, oh.
Oh, I love this. It's the best. And then Wadian says, nothing. Basma fears not the Imperials. Basma would crush them all in the sweaty coils of his mass. However, if you are so interested in earning the favour of Basma, the gluttonous, then you then he does have a job for you, which will see his own standing, impressive as it already is, and yours to perhaps increase upon Nar Shaddaa.
I'm glad those 4 words I said all that.
Yeah, the Hutties, it's well,
It was
what you
the
got to
whole
keep in
whole
mind is Wadian is translating and
Right. No,
throwing,
it's fine.
like-
I didn't want to keep going.
like Basma's not going to refer to himself as like all these honorifics that Wadian is throwing in there.
Yeah, because it makes him sound dumb.
He's just like, oh my god, I have the best plan ever. And then Wadian's like, yes, the great and powerful Basma, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, Howie, on that note, Basma's answer, Basma doesn't seem all that smart, and his answers aren't all that elaborate. So what Wadian actually just said, because you speak the language, what Wadian just said was actually originally probably along the lines of, we can use this one to screw over Gracchus.
That's all he said.
Yeah, like something along those lines.
Excellent.
I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna keep ignoring that one guy and just keep talking directly to the Basmir guy. And I'll say, if you want me to screw over this Gratis guy, as long as that takes me off planet, sure.
Wadian basically answers for Basma and says, if you do this thing, then we can arrange for you to leave planet if that's what you really want.
Oh.
I'll turn and look at Kara. Like, is this acceptable to you?
She's like, I have no idea what half of what you said, but if we can get off the planet, that sounds good to me.
Sounds like we might. I'll look at her and be honest. I'll be like, I'll stop speaking Huttese for this and say, I think we're gonna have to do some possibly dirty work for this hut if we want off planet as soon as possible.
That's fine. I'm willing to do that.
You go, okay, and I'll turn back to the guy, to the hut, and be like, yeah, sure.
Okay, the hut basically like spits in his hand, and then shakes hands with Wadian, who doesn't look overly thrilled with this, like
I
either.
don't either.
And then Wadian, like with like the slimy hand, now comes over to you to shake your hands.
I
And like
offer the carrot first.
everyone is just staring at the two of you until someone shakes Wadian's hand.
I stare at Kara and go, okay, do it.
It's like
She's
I
one
negotiated.
of those-
You need to shake the slimy hand.
She has one of those things where she's like, and then she reluctantly does it.
It is so slimy. Now wait, like your hand is covered in like hut phlegm, for lack of a better term.
She's failing to pretend to not look disgusted.
Oh, the hut is laughing at your disgust. And then Wadian goes and shakes the hut's hand again, because look, he even has a go in between for handshakes. That is how like small dog syndrome this hut is. Okay.
She tries to like nonchalantly like wipe it off on the back of her pants, like on her ass, like over her clothes, but not that he could see it. So she's afraid he'll get offended.
I phlegm really hard into my hand before shaking the guy's hand.
It's probably not going to be that bad compared to like
No, but
all the
still.
hut on there. So, and then he sort of comes back and gets like tugroot phlegm all over him, and then goes back and shakes. So everyone has shaken hands with Wadian, and then Wadian produces a data pad to either one of you. It doesn't really matter. So whoever would like to can add a data pad to their inventory.
This is all you. Power has once again gone to
I guess
hiding.
I'll take it.
Excellent. And then Wadian says further instructions are on the data pad, and then they leave.
I'll look at Kara and be like, well, see, that worked. Done.
Yep, but now we're. She.
What?
What?
Have we lost Necro?
Hello?
There you
Oh,
are.
Okay.
Skype did that thing where it switched my push to talk to just automatically on. So I was pushing my talk and muting myself. Alright, she says, she looks really disappointed at what happened. And she says, yeah, but we just made a deal with the Huts. Perhaps one of the worst things you possibly could do.
It was only one hut.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right. She's just assuming the worst.
Look, sometimes being in good graces with the hut can get you saved. So let's just see what we have to do, and I'll start reading the data pad.
Okay, there's some very minor level encryption that you've got to break through, which you do. Just takes you a little while.
I
seems...
sigh as I realize like they handed us an encrypted thing. I'm like, couldn't they just friggin' have it written on here? Come on.
You sort of get the feeling that the encryption isn't there to keep you out. It's basically there to inconvenience you, like in a very minor fashion, and remind you who is the boss. And in that case, it's Basma.
That the password to the encryption was Basmer's name or something.
Basma.
Yeah, but the A's are 4s or something.
Very encrypted.
Yeah, as I say, it's more of a minor inconvenience rather than means to keep it actually secure. And
Okay.
the job is you basically like a little hollow of Basma show up. Said this one speaks Galactic Common Galactic Basic, and it says Gracchus has Gracchus is always too keen to comply with Imperial requests. It makes me think that Gracchus is trying to hide something and is being compliant to draw attention away from himself. You should find out what Gracchus is trying to hide, so that I can use it against him to take his position within the family.
Wait, did he read that, or did like a thing pop up?
Like a little thing came out and projected it, so you heard it.
Oh, okay. Well, great. Now we're trying to go after another hut. Great.
See,
And,
we're not friends with all the huts.
If you could both do a knowledge... is there knowledge criminal, or is it knowledge underground?
Underworld.
That's the one.
Yep.
Give me that knowledge.
Yay, I know all of the knowledge because I am a Syrian. Any...
difficulty 2. Yep, difficulty 2.
What is a threat on learning something? You're like, oh shit, I forgot it.
Threat is... Like, the dice roll threat is similar to advantage, but it's the bad version.
Okay.
I really don't know anything.
Yeah, you don't know...
Like, what's a hut?
I guess I'm just kind of eyeing you, Kara.
Nexus basically is sure that you're after a Cracker the Hut, despite the name being said right. Is like, no, I don't know any Cracker the Hut. It's like, but it's Gracchus. It's like, no, yeah, that's what I said, Cracker. I don't know.
Excellent.
Necro also doesn't know anything.
Does advantage not do anything unless you have a success?
How
that works?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
However, you notice it's like there's no one around on this upper level, apart from that goddamn motherfucking hooded figure.
Son of a bitch! All right, where are they standing? Like in relation to us? Are we still close to the huts, or did they
Oh no, they
actually
left.
leave?
They left.
Oh, they like left on a floating thing or something? Or all right. So it's just us
podium.
alone, and they're standing there.
Yes. Nowhere near the elevators, by the way. You have no idea how they got there.
Well, to be fair, this is the second time I've seen this person, and I'm not even sure if I would connect it as the same person.
You've only seen them twice, but Kara's seen them
I've seen them a
about
bunch of times,
4
and
or
also
5
in
times.
the bar. She she was still standing behind Nexus, so she like steps out and like walks a couple like feet, but not that close to them, and says, "Who are you? You've been following us for a while now."
I mean, you know it's a she, because
Yeah.
you've seen her. She sort of reaches under her robes, and it looks like she's pulling something up over her mouth. And then, like, the voice that comes out is slightly modulated, so...
All right, before she talks, Kara like she has her hand on her pistol, but her hand's like clearly shaking. She's like, just be trying to be prepared. She
Okay.
has no idea what's going on.
Also, Necro, before I forget, mark yourself 5 XP for
Cool.
your playing of Basma the Hut.
Yes.
So put that in the available XP box.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, she this Toggeroot pulls something over her mouth. You're going to assume it's like a vocal modulator because the voice that then proceeds to come out of her is kind of half masculine, half feminine, and very synthetic.
Okay.
In total, it's like, for now you can call me the Arbiter.
The Arbiter.
The Arbiter.
She looks back to Nexus, having like no idea what, basically no idea what.
It's like, what's going on?
Yes.
She just shakes his head. You're no help at all.
Excellent contribution, Howie. So the Arbiter says, I couldn't help but overhear you have been employed by Basma the Hut.
Nope, don't know what you're talking about.
How did you get up here?
She ignores that question. She's like, so you're to sabotage Gracchus the Hutt.
Nope.
What are you doing here? No Crackus, I don't know them.
No, Cracker. Gracchus, no, not. We're after Cracker.
Yep.
It's like, if you're looking. Okay, don't tell me what you're up to. Just know that if you were looking for assistance, and then this comment seems specifically to Kara, and perhaps some answers, you might find them in Gracchus's Pleasure Palace.
That's just a what?
Kara
Answers to what?
Kara is not sure what is happening. She does not say
Answers to what?
Who is Nexus asking this?
To the Arbiter.
Answers. She sort of turns to walk away, and as she does so, she says answers to questions. And then she sort of pulls the. Not that you can see this, but she pulls the modulator down, and you hear her at normal voice. Questions that perhaps you didn't even know you were asking.
Why would you help us if that's what you're doing?
She's walked off. She's like walking off. She doesn't seem interested in
Okay.
conversing any further. Though she's not like running or anything. She's just taking a very slow, methodic.
Okay. Kara's just not sure what has happened, and is just standing there, confused. And she looks at Nexus.
I look at Kara and be like, what did you do?
What did I do? I didn't do anything.
what'd you
What are
do?
talking about?
She's clearly talking to you.
I have no idea who that person is.
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Let's go. Where's Cracker's Palace of Pleasure?
It's Gracchus. She just has to correct you every time. I don't know where it is. Don't you? Does not tell you on that data pad?
No, you heard the data pad. No, it did not.
Is there any other information on it, Mr. Pilot?
Pilot, not a data pad reader.
I'm a pilot, not a nerd. If you do check the data pad, you do, after a few like further levels of encryption. Password is the best.
Of course.
You see a map of Nar Shaddaa, and like different segments of Nar Shaddaa seem to be color coded per the hut that's in charge of that area of Nar Shaddaa. And like the center of Nar Shaddaa, and the biggest segment by far, is color coded like this sickly green color. And it says in like the legend that tells you what color the color is who and etc. It says Gracchus. And there's different like waypoints for points of interest. Gracchus seems to have his own port that goes direct to his segment, and in the center of his sort of area it just says Pleasure Palace / HQ.
Found the map.
How are we going to infiltrate this? No, this sounds like a bad idea.
We'll do it the same way I did it just now.
Oh yeah, we'll just walk up to the front door and ask them to let us in.
Yes.
You're gonna get me killed, Mr. Pilot.
It's Mr. Andromedon.
That's what it was. Andromedon Flom.
Nexus Andromedon? Is that what it is?
Yep.
She says, well, my name is Kara. Let's go and get this over with.
And in true Star Wars form, we're going to have like a diagonal wipe. to the next scene, which is you showing up at the Pleasure Palace, and I'm not sure what impression your character's put under, but the Pleasure Palace is basically, it's a giant, it is palatial in its design, but it seems to be it's like a house of sin, basically. There's like, on one level there's a giant buffet, there's gambling tables on another level, and then there's like a strip club slash brothel sort of on the uppermost level, and presumably there's a level where Gracchus calls his, like, where he conducts his criminal empire from, but it is certainly available to the public. Can go in and spend money and indulge in various vices within.
Huh. Here I thought it was going to be just a giant torture chamber, and then she kind of rolls her eyes, and I'm sure there's one in there somewhere. We'll take the lead, Mr. Pilot.
Fine. So.
And as with all these things, there's Gamorreans at the door, but these ones seem dressed in what is the equivalent of their species for, like, a suit and bow tie, like they're greeters in like one of the nicer casinos in Vegas. They've got little pig waistcoats on and etc. And they're like, yes, in Hutties, but you speak Hutties. So, yes.
Choto.
We're here to see Cracker.
Kara literally facepalms.
Ah, Cracker, yes, many crackers to be had and more on level 3.
I don't... Kara, Kara, what is it? We're not here for crackers, we're here for...
What?
I'm looking at you, kind of snapping my fingers,
She goes, shut up, just to get us in there.
I tried. Said crackers.
No, you didn't.
Free.
These
Are they
two
gonna let us
Gamorrean
buy
aren't
it?
like, yeah, they're not barring the way. They're just.
Oh, okay.
How do we get? Where is? What floor is Cracker on? Cracker. Sorry.
Level
She's just
3.
She like physically like pushes you out of the way and starts talking to these guys.
Yes.
In basic, so she has no idea if they actually speak.
Oh, they
already did.
swapped to
All right,
basic.
never mind. Says, we are looking to honor the great and powerful Gracchus. Where might we be able to do that here?
He sort of checks his sleeve and there's like a watch there. It's like, at this time, Lord Gracchus tends to find himself on level 5.
Thank you. And she like bows a little bit and walks in the door.
The other one, the one that hasn't spoke, is all like, can I, before you go, can I interest you in any chips so that you may partake on the sabacc tables on level 7? Sabacc's a card game.
How much?
Like,
I want to do some gambling.
How many would you like?
You know what? Enough to play one hand.
And will you be playing at the high roller table? Or
No.
It's
Yes.
like,
She interrupts.
Yes,
No.
she will.
the
Don't listen to him.
the Gamorrean can sort of tell that there's some sort of debate going on between the two of you. He says, "Oh, perhaps I'll leave you to decide. Attendants on level 7 will also be able to assist you in this manner."
Alright, fine. Just walks in.
And then the first one says, "Remember, it's level 5 for Gracchus at this time."
Yes, thank you. Once they get like past their earshot, she turns and says, "Well, thanks, thank you. You helped a lot. Thank you."
You're welcome. Crackers on floor 3
His
if you get
name's
hungry.
his name's Krakus.
Okay, sure.
Say it with me, Krakus.
Crack.
Let's
Okay, well,
5.
this floor, it's just like a foyer to enter into, and then various elevators to the different levels.
She kind of shakes her head. What if we're looking for something that could bring him down? I only asked to see if he was here. I don't think we should go talk to him.
Best way to get to know what he's hiding is to talk to him.
She looks astounded at your lack of strategy. And you plan on just asking him, "Hey, what bad stuff are you doing?"
No, I'd ask him if he was doing bad stuff. Where would he not want people to look?
We're not going to do that. Or you
Then what's your
could,
plan?
and then report back to me after you've been killed, and let me know.
Well, what's your plan then?
I don't know. I've never done this before.
Well,
You just said
neither have I.
you're... She does not believe you, and it's very clear.
Okay, look, if we know the gambling's on floor 7, and we know he's on floor 5, let's try floor 6.
Maybe we should find out what's on the other floors.
Yeah, we'll do that by going there. Floor 6.
Okay, so you get into an elevator, and there's like... this is high end, right? There's a Gamoran in his little waistcoat. He's like, "Yes, what floor?" They all seem to have that voice.
6.
And he presses the button for 6 for you, and the doors close. And it's piping in through more jizz.
Uh-huh.
And it goes to floor 6, and then ding! And the door opens. It's like, "Floor 6, the arena."
Oh, we don't want that. Floor 4.
Sir, are you sure?
Yep.
Very well,
What is
floor... Floor 4, excellent choice. Presses the button, and he goes,
After he presses it, what is on floor 4?
So, like, does the lady not know which floor she wishes to go to?
It's my first time here.
Ah, in that case, you'll want floor 1 for the problem.
Yes.
By which, of course, I mean for the induction tour. But yes, floor 1 for the induction tour.
Could you just tell me what's on floor
Are
4?
there floors?
Floor 4, sort of, it's got to floor 4 at this point, and the door's opened, and it's
The sex floor.
this isn't the sex floor. There seems to be like a bunch of like the sofas that you get in psychiatrists, and you actually see like there's a few people lying on these sofas, and they're some of them are
Balls.
yeah. Basically, this is like the opium den floor. Like there's guys smoking pipes. There's guys who are like plugged into machines that are like stimulating them via electrical impulses. There's guys with like
Okay, we've seen that here.
sort of masks on that are like sensory deprivation masks, so they're like hallucinating and stuff. This is for drugs basically, and there's like oxygen tanks, so you can just take pure oxygen and all sorts of weird stuff.
I look at the buttons and I note to myself what the highest floor is.
The buttons go up to 7.
I'll ask the guy.
You know from outside like this that there's got to be more than 7 floors.
Yeah, I'll say, look, is there like a kitchen area floor? Where can I find a kitchen?
Sir, I don't think I quite understand.
Where's the thing? Where do you make the food?
She says, "I'm assuming floor 3 with the crackers."
The lady's quite right. All your dietary requirements can be satisfied on floor 3.
Is there a service elevator there?
He said, "Sir, the food is prepared on floor 3 itself."
Yeah, but is there a service elevator?
Just astounded at this conversation.
Where can I find a different elevator that employees can go in?
Sir, are you an employee of Lord Gracchus? I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with you.
Just got hired today.
Do you have your identification?
Not yet. I need to go get it.
In that case, it would be Lord Gracchus's majordomo that you need to see. He handles all HR duties.
Yes, and he's currently on floor 8, so I need to get to the other elevator to get to him.
You're gonna have to roll deception at that point. It's like, yeah, he's on floor 8. He's like, no, he's not. He's on floor 5.
What's the purple?
This is gonna be 4. This is a very bold-faced lie. So you may want to use one of those destiny points.
Yeah, because he's assured, because he knows that it's not, so I'm guessing that's why. Like, oh, your name's actually Billy Bob. Like, oh, that's right.
So how do I activate a destiny point?
Just click on one and it'll flip it over. Okay, excellent. So you can upgrade one of your greens to a yellow, or if you don't have any greens to upgrade to a yellow, add a green.
Okay, I am ready.
Okay, and it's difficulty 4. Okay. Alright, so you succeed, and I'll tell you what the threat is in a second, but because you got the triumph, basically you tell me what happens.
Well, I tell the guy, I'm like, hey look, he's on floor 8, buddy, so I need to get to the elevator that gets to floor 8. So, you're gonna give me everything I need to know about accessing that elevator, so I can get on it.
Okay, it's like, okay, well, what you'll need to do is go to floor 7. Go to the back of the room and talk to the cashier. Ask if you can. Say that you're required on floor 8. You'll need identification to get past into the service elevator. Here, take mine. It shouldn't be a problem.
Cara is like literally astounded that this works. She's like the mind explosion gif is happening for real with her.
So I think you'll be
quick question.
needing floor 7 then.
Quick question, does Cara know, like, because I had to activate a destiny coin, does that mean I tapped into the force a little bit to do this?
You did tap into the force a little bit. Just a little bit. Necro, do you have Force Sense?
I don't.
Okay, in that case, you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
But didn't you say you were gonna give it to us, like the basic level? Both of us?
Yes, I did. You both do have Force Sense. So in that case, yes, Necro, you just get like Kara's life. She's noticed every now and again like things don't quite
weirdly working out. That doesn't make sense.
And you just get this feeling that perhaps that's
and this
been
is
true
definitely
for
one of those times.
that. Not only is this one of those times, but it seems that Nexus is the same as you. But further than that, you can't quite put your finger on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I go, thanks, buddy. Yeah, floor 7.
And he presses floor 7 and more jizz music, and then you get off at floor 7. And he's like, "Oh, here's my ID. Remember, talk to the head cashier. They'll see you through the rest of the way."
Yeah, and I'll put in a good. What's your name again? I need to put in a good word for you for more Major Domo.
My name is Schnortel.
Very good. And I'll walk out.
Excellent. So this is the gambling floor. So there's various games of chance going on, and that 3D space chess, and there's a Wookiee and it's pulled the arms off a droid.
As they're stepping out, she says, "I can't." Like after the door shut, I can't believe that worked.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it just happens. I guess I'm just lucky.
Indeed. I guess let's. Now that you have the idea, I guess let's just go. I don't know. What's your plan once we get to floor 8?
Well, I don't know if we're actually going to go to floor 8. I figured the higher the better.
Do you think that it's almost assured that he'll have guards everywhere past this floor?
We'll see.
Okay.
I legitimately will find out. Yeah. So I start walking towards the cashier.
Okay, you there's various interesting looking aliens that you walk past, and you get to the cashier desk at the back for people to buy in and cash out, and there's a queue of people. So and it seems to be a droid that is sorting this out, because droids can't be cheated or coerced or etc. But there's this queue, so do you get in the queue or do you try to barge to the front of the queue?
We're important. We're going to the front.
Okay, so there's like 6 people in this queue. One of them is sort of they're wearing sort of like, it's mainly red with black detailing, helmet in sort of like Mandalorian style. And when I say Mandalorian style, it is basically there's a Mandalorian of some description in this queue, and then there's this this bald guy with a heavy scar going across his face, and a Toydaran, like a Watto, he's sort of hovering in the queue, and a bald guy and a Wookiee. There's a Wookiee in the queue as well with the bald guy, and you go barging past him, and the Wookiee goes "Roar!" as Wookiees tend to do, and the bald guy sort of grabs you by the shoulder and says, "What do you think you're doing?"
Going to the elevator?
Nah, you
Gotta go up to floor 8?
You get in queue like the rest of us.
I am better than you.
Hey, look, buddy,
front.
buddy, my friend doesn't like you. And the Wookiee's like, "Arr!" And I don't like you either. Movie references.
Alright, well, okay, here's what's gonna happen. Before Nexus ruins us any further and gets us in trouble, she's going to put her like hand on like his, what's it called, like, oh, what's that, it's like not your hand, like like the area between your elbow and your hand, like that
Forearm?
your forearm. I couldn't think of the word forearm for some reason. On her forearm, and says, "Look, we're in a hurry, we really need to get by, and I'm going to try and use influence on him."
Go for it. You roll in one of them persuade checks. It's difficulty 2, and throw in a force dice as well.
Alright, hold on, let me see. I have many windows up. I'm going to start closing these. Alright, so it's what dice would I roll for this? Like what skill? Influence? That's not a skill.
Persuade, no,
Because I'm trying to do the force power.
charm or negotiate.
Charm or negotiate. I'll do charm. And add a force dice?
And add a force dice as well, yep.
Difficulty, what? 2?
2.
Oh.
Well, the 2 white dice that you got, the 2 white dots, they both count as a success. So that is a success.
Woo.
So, what were you asking him again?
No, she said, I'm very sorry about this, but we're in a hurry. It's an emergency.
Okay, excellent. He's all like, "Oh, well, if you're in a hurry, why didn't you just say so?"
She like bows a little bit. And just keeps following next.
Okay, I just need to do a roll real quick.
Mr. Andromeda.
Uh-oh. I just fucked us by using a force power.
Where is that skill I'm looking for? Rolling these dice, rolling the dice. Okay, there we go.
I'm not sure if I said it when I try to do it on Howie, but she's not like actively being like, I'm gonna force persuade him. She's just like, she thinks she can convince people to do stuff.
Yeah, right, no, I gathered. Okay, so you, the bald guy and the Wookiee let you get to the front. Did I say there was a Trandoshan in queue with the Wookiee?
Yes.
Oh, because they don't like each other.
I think oh well.
Like on a
one, yeah.
no, like on a genetic level, they can't stand each other. Maybe the big bald guy is like in between the Trandoshan, and you see him look over his shoulder, and you notice everyone's like still armed in here, which you thought maybe was a bit weird in a casino, that everyone was allowed to keep their guns, but it's a hut casino, so what are you gonna do? He's all like, I got man, you're scaly, don't be thinking nothing. Because he was eyeing up the Wookiee because they like to hunt them. Anyway, so yeah, the droids are like, how can I be of service?
Who, me? I'll look inside.
How
You're in
can I
front of
be
me.
of service? It doesn't, like, perhaps this droid is only programmed to respond to certain things said, and who me apparently wasn't one of them, so it just repeated itself.
Take us to the top.
Please present identification.
Hand him the identification card.
It scans the card, and then it says, like, a little, like, grid of light comes out of its single eye, and, like a barcode reader over the card, and says, what was his name again?
Oh god, it was something goofy. Shit.
Was it, like, Schnortel or...
Schnortle.
Yeah.
Schnortle, yeah.
Greetings, Schnortel. Please step through, and then with like a hiss of hydraulics, like this door, like the counter slides open to let you go through.
Is it gonna let both of us go through?
That's something that you're gonna have to give a go.
Alright, well I'm gonna try and follow.
Okay, yep, you get through. What were you wearing? What is Kara wearing?
Let's see. She has on just a robe, a concealing robe.
It gets sort of caught in as the door hisses shut behind her, but you can tug it through.
She like comically like tries to rip it free, and like rips a little hole in it.
You do, so it's
and then gets mad.
And then you notice there's a door in the back, and you go through the.
We went into an elevator and then outside.
Oh no,
door?
you just like the sliding. It was just the counter, so you're just on the other side of the counter.
Oh, okay.
And there's a door in the back, which presumably is a staff only area.
Well, bleed on, Mr. Pilot.
Okay. I keep walking until we get to the elevator.
Okay.